2022 is my first year ever being able to drive for storm season. Even with that, I still got 0 tornadoes that year. Coming into 2023, I was really excited for another opportunity. And unbeknownst to me, this year very much delivered. The chases of 2023.
Lord, it's a storm, I'm here to fall in your clutch. Broken bright, bones of none, unmuted is such. Kick my ribs, heave that glass back into your face. On this levee where I foretell your embrace. Blind man running.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another chase recap. This is my third year in a row doing this, and I'm really excited. I'm a little late this year, but it should be alright. But I'm really excited to do this. I got 10 chases in store here, 12 tornadoes over the year, way better than last year, because I got 0, so infinitely better than last year in theory. So let's get right into this video. To begin, we're going to start off with March 5th. Which, that date, it may ring a bell, but it's not actually March 5th. I didn't get any tornadoes or anything. Just some nice slow motion lightning over the lake north of town, as you can see in the background. But that night, it was a very fun night and a good way to start off the season. Definitely more significant. So March 31st, 2023 was the third largest tornado outbreak in 24 hours ever. Like, that is, that's a crazy stat line to start out with here, but it was the third largest ever. High risk day, definitely a pretty crazy day to start out, well, technically actually start out my chase season. But my friend and I went up north to 𝙬𝙬𝙤𝙬𝙀, Iowa, and we caught the first tornado. And then actually after that we caught another tornado right away, and then we caught 𝘬𝙤𝙜 from the back. But a great day, 3 days, 3 tornadoes that day, the EF3 and the EF4, and then I think it was an EF1 early on. But we started out west, and then we headed back east when we saw a storm actually coming right through my hometown of Centerville. It was a hailer at that point, but we were over by Sheraton or so, and then we headed really quickly back east so we could catch the storm, and we got right on it. And definitely a crazy day, and one I'll remember forever. April 4th, 2023 was another significant day. On models, this one showed enough to be upgraded to a moderate risk in the morning hours. My dad and I went up north. We went east first because we were going to go over that Illinois direction, and then it kind of shifted back west. So then we headed west to catch the storms that were near Osceola. And they were really high based, started off hailers, and after a little while they latched onto that warm front and produced 2 highly photogenic tornadoes right near Pleasantville, Iowa. Now, Pleasantville, Iowa comes up a few times in this video, but this day was probably the best day for tornadoes, especially photogenic tornadoes this year. Next up, we got one of my absolute favorite chases from last year. Beautiful structure. This was on May 6th, down in northern Missouri, and met up with one of my good friends, Jonah Jones. You can see I probably put his Twitter in the bio, or the description down there. But this day was insane. Some very, very nice structure. There did end up being a tornado. Later on, I was kind of gone, but I did see a really, really weak one early on in the storm, kind of after this period. But yeah, super weak tornado. But this day was an enhanced risk, and it really turned out well. One of my favorite structures that I've ever gotten. But this day was amazing. So don't forget to follow Jonah. I put him in the bottom.
Let's look at it.
This is the most gorgeous storm I've ever seen. The next chase wasn't quite as fun, but this one actually ended up being pretty good. My friend Blaine and I went up to Oskaloosa, Iowa. Storm, I think it was 5%. It really tried to produce, but it never could. And then later in the night, actually, I got this really, really nice shelf cloud that was really coolly lit up by the lightning. It was really dark purples. But a pretty moderate chase day. I'd like to see one coming up soon, but, it wasn't too good, but it also wasn't too bad. So definitely a fun chase. The next day was pretty eventful. This was on May 12th. My brother and I went to southeastern Nebraska. If you remember right, May 12th is a pretty notorious day. That was a Spalding tornado occurred, but obviously my brother and I couldn't quite get there. But it was a pretty decent day for us. The storm we were on didn't really produce, but it was pretty good looking. We were really, really hoping to get a tornado, but it was a pretty decent storm chasing day. If I had more time, I would have tried to get up north.
Noticing some rotation on this wall cloud now. Yep, you said a little opening.
This next day was really fun. My brother and I, after the day before, obviously it was May 12th, but the next day was May 13th. This was in just near Pella, Iowa, in central Iowa. If anybody remembers right, this day was that crazy day with that supercell that basically sat over the same area for about like 4 or 5 hours producing tornadoes. We saw at least 4, with one little bit stronger one earlier on, and then just a bunch of 3 other pretty weak ones, but it was definitely crazy. That thing just kept setting and just kept going over the same area, which unfortunately was probably the worst chasing terrain in Iowa, but it still was fun just to keep going down and back down these roads. We actually left before the last tornado happened, but we got 4 tornadoes. That was a crazy day, especially the day before. We wanted a tornado, but we didn't get one. It was kind of nice to get a bunch after the day after, but it was a really weird day, but still fun. Tornado is currently on the ground. That's what I'm thinking. Jeez. Getting lucky this year. So oddly enough, I don't have any videos from this day for some reason, but I chased to enhanced risk at that point, but it went up to moderate later on. Derecho in northern Missouri, and it had significant hail and wind, obviously. But oddly enough, yeah, I didn't get any footage, but it's because I had to go myself, and it was early in the morning. But yeah, so here's the picture of the derecho, but that's about it. Funny enough, the next chase actually was basically an entire month later, July 28th. This was a 2% tornado risk, which was actually an enhanced for wind and hail. Up in north central Iowa, this was the furthest I've ever went for a chase, but this one I also didn't get any video, but this tornado was quite far away, so it would have been really hard to. But yeah, this was a great day, and it was only a 2% risk, and I took the gamble to get up north, and it definitely paid off, but it was really a really fun chase, and basically the last good chase of the year. The late season this year was just pretty poor, but actually, and then when I got home, there was some more storms, so I'll have to show that in a second too. I actually think I maybe got some footage from that. I don't think I did, but you'll see it obviously if I did. But yeah, that was basically the last good chase of the year. We still have one more coming up, but yeah. So this last chase was on October 13th. Really didn't end up being a chase, the best part of it at least. I went off. There's a 5% and it was a little cold core with a lot of vorticity, but nothing really happened. Could have maybe had a tornado, but it really hard to confirm anything with that kind of thing. But here's a picture. This is later in the night, and that's basically the best thing that happened. So there's that, you know. You know what? And with that, we're done with this chase recap for 2023 storm season. That was a very good year. I'm super happy with it, especially after 2022. I didn't get any tornadoes that year, so it's really fun. Obviously, the new vehicle, all that different things, a lot of improvements. 12 tornadoes on 13 chases on 5 tornado days. So I'm just looking at notes here. Around 40 severe thunderstorms, which is a lot if you think about it. That's a significant amount. Let's see. I don't really have anything else in my notes here. Just checking to see if I missed anything earlier on. I have 19 total current tornadoes right now. So I'm looking to try to get, let's say 15 is the goal this year. So that's definitely one of my main goals for the year. I'm going to be chasing for Ryan Hall on big days, so that's going to be really fun. So be on the lookout for that. But with that, this chase recap's over. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all your support, and I'll see you guys next year for the next recap. Goodbye.